Today I'm going to be talking about Rodann Electronics' more sophisticated system, one of our most popular RX and TX wireless receiver and transmitter model. TX, T for transmitter, is the motion detector. This transmits a signal when somebody walks underneath the door to the receiver. The receiver goes in a back room. And it can be up to 500 feet away, line of sight. Obviously, if you have walls and other obstructions, it limits the range. But so starting with that unit, I am going to show you on the back is where it takes the 3 AA batteries that go on the back. They're already installed for convenience. I just like using Duracell. They seem to be one of the better batteries out there. And this just snaps closed when you're done. There's the model, the RX1000A, T again for transmitter. And to open up this unit, you see in the side, the short side here, where in the seam you see the little coin insert. It comes apart there by pulling the unit apart, and it reveals the board. So when you put it back together, the hook goes in place and it closes like that. When you're mounting the unit and you're doing a ceiling mount, this is the way the unit would be mounted, pointing straight down. The lens is here, points straight down over double doors, single doors. It makes no difference. If you're doing a over the door mount on a door jamb up above, it'd be going like this and pointing straight down. If you're going to do a side installation, you can go back up to 10 feet away from the door, and this unit needs to be in the vertical position like this, up and down, shooting against the front of the door. So going back to this model, you pull it apart here like this, and you have dip switches here, 1 through 6. I'm not sure if you can see the 1 through 6, but there they are. So 1 through 6 are listed that way, and 1 through 4 on this model is the address. 5 and 6 control the different sounds. So 5 and 6 right now down is the sound ding dong. We have a turbo sound here that is kind of unique, much louder to get attention. If you have one of our other units, maybe the push button to get somebody's attention that's different from the ding dong. So if you were to move this in the on position, you would get that. The other two sounds are a combination of 5 and 6. So 6 up, 5 down would be the double ding dong octave higher. 6 down and 5 up would be the single ding sound, kind of like an elevator opening. And in order to synchronize this unit properly, what I normally do is start with the RX unit, plug that in, remove the power. You can see the red and the black here. Just make sure that when you put it back on, the red goes to where the red is and the black goes where the black is. So what we've just done is plug in the receiver. That beep beep you heard was the synchronization sound, and that synchronization sound you listen for when you plug in the receiver. When you add the power back to, after you have your batteries in, to the transmitter, you should hear another synchronization sound, and that synchronization sound is good. There's the double, there's the ding dong. If you want the other sound, you have to disconnect the power, put 5 and 6 up, and when you do that, you add it, and you'll hear the synchronization signal again, and now you'll be listening for the sound, which is different than the ding dong that you heard previously. Oh, didn't have it all the way down. So the synchronization sound again, and now you'll hear the turbo sound, which is the sound that... This sound is unique because this sound is used with our CX unit. That is the push button unit, and you're working at the register and you need help at the register. Either an unruly customer, or a line at the register is forming, or you have a tape jam in the register and you need the manager or somebody to help you. You'd push the CX unit, which we'll get into in another video, but that sound is definitely not the sound that customers would be making when they come in. You choose the 5 and 6 down. Now if you want to do leave the 6 up and 5 down to get the different sound, the black goes where the black is and the red goes where the red goes. There's the synchronization sound. This is the third sound, so you'll be able to hear that as soon as it kicks in. It takes a couple minutes. Okay, so you've got a double ding-dong octave higher for hard of hearing. Still a pleasant sound, but you can tell that it's not as soft and pleasant as the first one. So disconnect the power, and I'm going to put 5 up and 6 down. Reconnect, you'll hear the synchronization sound. And now you'll be listening for the other sound, which is a single ding. Kind of like an elevator, just single ding. And that's all you're looking for if you want the most discrete sound that this unit offers. Factory setting is all of them down. 1 through 4 is the addresses. So if you wanted to have a different address than maybe one of your tenants next door that has a similar unit like this, and you move one of these in on position, or 2 of them, or 3 of them, or all 4 of them. It doesn't matter. The choice is yours as to what combination. When you have 4 dip switches, you have 16 combinations to choose from. So if you were in a mall and 16 different stores at them, you could go and have 16 different settings. So factory setting is in the down position, and the address on this motion detector has to match the address on the receiver. So I'm going to not put that together because we want to see one of the items that says here in the directions, dip switches 1 through 4 must match receiver unit. On the back of the receiver that we plugged in right over here, it says the opposite. Dip switches 1 through 4 must match transmitter. So that being said, let's go to the receiver. I will put this in. There's a synchronization sound. I'm going to put the lid on this unit, and you'll hear it going off. That's the most common sound that people have. And so this unit does not disrupt the conversation here. I'll put it upside down. And that will stop going off in just a second. So I'll take the receiver, and I'll show you the dip switches on that receiver. If you look at the back, get into focus, you'll see that 1 through 4 do match, and 5 and 6 on this guy do something a little different. 5 and 6 control the 12-volt DC terminal screws here. There's also 2 screws here that are labeled SPKR. I'm not sure how well you can see that, but SPKR stands for speakers. You can add extension speakers to the back of the receiver. You can add a buzzer to these 12-volt DC outputs. So a buzzer will give you a buzzing sound. The speaker will give you the same sound as the receiver makes, the ding-dong you've heard. So if for some reason you have a store that has a lot of traffic, because these units will handle a lot of traffic, what you'll want to do is put a delay, because sometimes when a family of 5 comes in, and I just want to do number 5. Number 5 in the on position. When a family of 5 comes in, you want to kind of avoid, a group of 5 people coming in and setting the unit off and having it going ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, driving your employees crazy. This number 5 in the on position gives you a 5-second delay, and it also mentions it here in the mini instruction sheet. Number 6 in the on position bypasses 5, and it gives you a 20-second delay. The 20-second delay also energizes these 2 terminals for the 12-volt DC. So if you wanted a strobe or a siren to go off longer, 20 seconds, you would have that with 6 in the on and you can push 5 down. Just remember, when you do these dip switches, make sure you unplug the receiver so that you can resynchronize this receiver. So knowing that, 12 volt DC and speaker, you can have extensions into other rooms by running wire through drop ceilings, through walk-in cooler doors, things like that. So you can see here the blue knob is our volume control. This spells out volume right here. Clockwise is higher volume, counterclockwise is lower. And that's basically it on this RX unit. And I think if you do have any questions, more technical support need, call Rodann Electronics at 1-800-366-7010. Thank you.